A close source of mine told me that when Pooh Shiesty was out of jail, he was making close to $200,000 a week.
We saw
$200,000 a week.
We saw it. If you was following
doing three or four shows a week.
He was the hottest thing, homie. Why would he shoot a gun? And he the hottest country. He's shooting it himself.
Pooh Shiesty may have completed the first 26 months of his 63-month sentence, but the controversy surrounding him during this period suggests it hasn't been easy. Let's take a closer look at Pooh Shiesty's life behind bars. Before his legal troubles began, Pooh Shiesty often shared videos and images online, proudly displaying his cash and jewelry. He was frequently seen with stacks of money, sometimes even placing them on his ears. However, during his incarceration, he and his team took to social media to plead for financial assistance. While Pooh Shiesty was at Miami's Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center, his loyal followers were informed that they could support him by donating money. These donations were intended to cover his expenses, especially for food and legal defense. To facilitate the process, Pooh Shiesty's team shared an Instagram story, letting followers know they could send money through Western Union. While some fans were willing to support him financially, others found it ironic that anyone would send money to a rapper who was already a millionaire. Pooh Shiesty would later prove his critics right in 2023. On Tuesday, February 24, 2023, he posted a lengthy message on Instagram, speaking boldly from prison. He seemed focused on maintaining his reputation in the streets and how Google listed his net worth. Referring to himself as King Shiesty, he claimed he was still untouchable and had millions of dollars, 3 times more than his followers. With 3.4 million followers on Instagram, he invited anyone to do the math. He also asked Google to increase his net worth and even made a dig at Jay-Z, stating that Jay-Z couldn't relate to his level of success at a young age. Pooh Shiesty also expressed anger towards those speaking negatively about him and warned them to stop or face consequences. He mentioned his allegiance to the Chopper Gang. Despite his tough words, he thanked his loyal supporters and promised something special for them in the future. Many saw this as a desperate attempt to remain relevant. Apart from financial matters, he was also involved in a personal controversy. A woman who is not his girlfriend accused the rapper of getting her pregnant. Pooh Shiesty defended himself, claiming his innocence. His girlfriend Chianti posted a video of Pooh Shiesty talking from prison, in which he strongly denied the allegations made by his stylist, Asia Knowles.
I would say he's really sweet. Like, besides what he raps about, I feel like he's really sweet and he's really caring. He is. And he'll probably get me in check when I'm going out the way, or I'll get him in check when he's going out the way.
He stated that he isn't the child's father, doesn't even know Asia, and never had any relationship with her. Pooh Shiesty made it clear he was unfamiliar with the woman in question, as he was heard saying those words through the phone speaker. Chianti got very upset with Asia and confronted her on social media. She posted a supposed ultrasound picture on her Instagram story and accused Asia of faking her pregnancy. In another Instagram story, Chianti said she had asked Asia to stop bothering her multiple times and believes that Asia is only doing this for internet fame. Asia responded to Pooh Shiesty and his girlfriend by attempting to prove that the rapper was lying. She shared a picture of messages she claimed were from the rapper, in which he seemed to invite her out one night, though she did not reply. Asia indirectly mocked Chianti by saying that some people see things differently, like thinking the sky is red when it's blue. Moreover, she threatened to take legal action against Pooh Shiesty and his girlfriend for harassment and defamation. She expressed frustration about them ignoring her messages and accused them of paying websites to spread false rumors about her. Asia mentioned that she was about to contact her lawyer to handle the harassment and defamation issues. Pooh Shiesty and Chianti did not respond to Asia's legal threat. In another video, the rapper was seen wearing a green vest, which is unusual because prisoners or those awaiting trial typically wear orange or tan jumpsuits. A former prisoner on TikTok explained that the green vest indicates a person may be
in prison. If you're wearing one of these, it's because you told the cops it's game over, you're done. You don't want to be here no more, if you catch my drift.
Wearing the vest means the person is under constant watch for 24 hours to keep them safe and prevent any harm, such as using it to make a noose.
They put you on 24-hour surveillance and they make you wear one of these. You cannot rip this up, and they do that so that you can't make like some crazy thing out of it, like a noose. It's also fireproof, which means you can't set it on fire. We, as convicts, call that thing a turtle suit.
After watching the video, fans started sharing their thoughts on the situation. Some were worried, while others tried to explain why Pooh Shiesty wore the vest. One person suggested he did it to be isolated because every inmate is on edge 24/7, adding that it's a smart move, not a scary one, if Shiesty was thinking about protecting himself in jail. Another person echoed the ex-inmate's sentiments, saying that if you end up in a turtle suit, it's because you indicated you were going to harm yourself, nothing else. Another commenter believed the authorities might have put it on him without his consent, sharing their own experience. I've been in a turtle suit not by choice. They made the decision for me, and I was okay. Before his incarceration, Pooh Shiesty was also accused of snitching. This accusation stemmed from the favorable turn in his case. He admitted guilt to one charge, which resulted in the avoidance of 3 more charges. This reduced his potential sentence from life imprisonment to 8 years. However, music manager Wack 100, known for his outspoken nature, accused him of doing more to get a lighter sentence. In a conversation on Clubhouse, Wack called Shiesty a snitch and claimed that he cooperated with law enforcement, alleging that he saw a written agreement where Shiesty gave evidence against his co-defendants. Pooh Shiesty responded to these allegations on his Instagram stories, denying being a snitch. He clarified that he never made any statements to the government or anyone else in exchange for leniency, and expressed a desire to educate Wack about his case. Omerta, he wrote, referencing the Italian code of silence. It will never show in no paper that I said sit down with the government and gave a statement on no one on the case with me, nor anyone else for something in return. In that case, I will not be here, he continued. A factual proffer is not of a government proffer, where the weak will sit down and tell they so. Sick. Know the difference before you use my name in vain. Sick. Before I bit some cheese, I sit down and keep quiet. Anyone that enter a negotiation plea agreement, it will be a factual proffer of the factual basis that the government will use in court to prove of the guilt they trying to show. I want all you lame dude, keep the same energy, I stand on business. Big 30, a close friend and collaborator of Pooh Shiesty, defended him on Instagram. He disagreed with Wack 100's claims and made it clear that Pooh Shiesty has been in jail since June 2021 without bail. Big 30 expressed frustration with Wack 100, calling him names and defending his friend's character. They always be letting that fat, bald head, irrelevant ass N-word always voice his opinion on expletive, Big 30 said in an Instagram video. My N-word ain't never snitched on no N-word, never been break to 6 or folded. Why you think my N-word ain't got no break? Why you think he ain't bounced back out like the rest of these rappers? Effing you talking about, N-word, you cooperate with rats, N-word. Even Pooh Shiesty's lawyer Bradford Cohen jumped on Instagram to dismiss Wack 100's allegations while setting the record straight on Shiesty's alleged proffer. This is 100% fake news. Wack 100, there is no paperwork that would say Pooh Shiesty said a word about anything on anything, he wrote. In fact, none of the 3 charged gave proffers on anything about anything having to do with other people. This is just a straight mistruth. They all took pleas to the same crime of 1 count of a possession of a weapon during a drug crime. None of them gave a proffer about anything. It was a straight plea, with all of them having the other 3 life felony counts dismissed. But why bother with facts? Just throw something out for clicks. Cohen expressed frustration with the spread of false information just for the sake of attention. Let's talk about what got him incarcerated in the first place. On Wednesday, April 20th, 2022, Pooh Shiesty was sentenced to 63 months in prison by Judge Kevin Michael Moore in a federal court in Miami. This came after Shiesty admitted to being involved in a firearms conspiracy related to an alleged armed at a Florida hotel. In this incident, the rapper shot a man named Brandon Cooper. The authorities say that Shiesty met up with the victim to buy sneakers. Video surveillance footage shows Shiesty arriving at the hotel in a rented McLaren. He also intended to negotiate an extension for this vehicle. During the transaction, the prosecution claimed that surveillance footage showed Shiesty arriving at the hotel with 21-year-old Bobby Brown, described as his road manager. They were followed by another 21-year-old associate, Jaden DeRosa, who drove a stylish black Mercedes Maybach. Upon Shiesty's arrival, one man gave him a shopping bag, while another handed him a bag of Prosecutors stated that things got out of hand during the transaction. Pooh Shiesty and his friends took the items without paying. As Shiesty examined the sneakers from the shopping bag, he pointed a small gun at one of the men, demanding he leave the sneakers. At the same time, DeRosa got out of the car, approached the second man, and allegedly tried to rob him of his jewelry. The man resisted, and Shiesty shot him in the Shortly after, Brown shot the first man in the hip, causing him to fall to the ground. Shiesty then drove away, but during the getaway, a bag containing $40,912 in cash fell out of the driver's seat of another car associated with him. Investigators were able to link this money to Shiesty by matching the serial number of one of the bills to a $100 bill that he had flaunted on his Instagram account before. Furthermore, Shiesty's public Instagram account featured photos of him posing with a green McLaren and displaying guns and a large amount of cash. Cooper survived the shooting, but Pooh Shiesty faced 4 charges related to it. Shiesty and his lawyers disputed the charges against him, saying there wasn't enough evidence that he fired a gun in the McLaren car. However, the judge disagreed, pointing out that the victim identified Shiesty as the shooter, and a photograph of a nearby vehicle showed a dent likely caused by a bullet shot from Shiesty's position. The victim, who was shot in the gave Shiesty a bag of liquid codeine before the incident, but Shiesty claimed the man was trying to force on him. He also said the 2 alleged victims were armed during the incident. In 2022, as part of a plea agreement, prosecutors dropped 3 of the charges, including one that could have led to a life sentence. Pooh Shiesty ultimately pleaded guilty to a single firearms conspiracy charge and was sentenced to prison. He still got credit for 1 year he had already served. If he behaves well, he might be released in 3.5 years. His lawyer, Bradford Cohen, was happy with how the judge attentively listened to their argument. Even though no one is happy about going to prison, the court's decision brought satisfaction to both Shiesty and his attorney. Many people believe this could only mean Shiesty was getting away with a lot of things while he was out on bail for the crime he was eventually jailed for. He got involved in another shooting case. Let's examine it more closely. On June 9th, 2021, Pooh Shiesty was arrested for allegedly shooting a security guard at a strip club in Northwest Miami-Dade during the Memorial Day weekend. He was charged with aggravated battery, as stated in jail records. The arrest warrant obtained by the Miami Herald revealed that the incident occurred on May 30th at the King of Diamonds strip club. A video on Instagram showed Shiesty leaving the club with a weapon after his performance. During the hearing, Shiesty's defense attorney Cohen by suggesting it might have been an accidental discharge of the gun. The prosecutor, Ruben Scalavino, claimed that Shiesty got upset because his security guard asked him to put away his gun. According to the arrest warrant, the incident happened around 4 a.m. after Shiesty had finished performing at a strip club on Northwest 72nd Avenue. As he was being escorted out by a security guard, someone knocked money out of his pocket, which caused excitement among the crowd trying to pick it up. This made Shiesty angry, so he went back to confront those who had taken his money. Okay, this wasn't the first time a rapper had their things stolen by fans. In the past, and even more recently, some rappers had their belongings taken by fans. In 2018, this happened to 50 Cent during a concert in Angola. A fan's video caught the exact moment the rapper was on stage. The video shows someone from the crowd snatching 50 Cent's necklace and quickly disappearing back into the crowd. During a show in North Carolina, NBA YoungBoy also had his chain taken by someone. While on stage, he stopped the performance to criticize the people who took the chain from his friend.
Hey, you see that chain? Hey, you see that chain you just took out my partner neck? Hey, that chain you just took out my partner neck, that ain't his chain. That's my chain. I ain't with
He even publicly shamed his friend for losing the chain and offered a reward of $50K to anyone who could bring it back. During a concert in his hometown Atlanta, the popular rapper Playboi Carti also had his chain stolen. It was his first time performing there since gaining mainstream fame, and the show was very lively. In footage from the concert, Carti can be seen shirtless on top of the crowd while they chant along to his song. At the start of the clip, he's wearing a small gold chain, but by the end, it's gone. Later in the same concert, Playboi Carti addresses the chain snatching. He informed the fans that he had a chain on before he jumped into the crowd, and he knew someone had taken it. He tells the fan who took it that they can keep it, but he's still not happy about the situation. Now, let's come back to Shiesty. On his way to confront the fans who took his money, the security guard saw a gun in Shiesty's waistband and told him to hide it to stop him from using it. However, later, as he was being taken out of the club, he took out the gun and fired one shot, hitting the guard in the ankle. Thankfully, the guard avoided getting shot in a more critical area by jumping out of the way. Shiesty and his group quickly left the club in a Cadillac Escalade, running away from the scene, according to Detective Daniel Soto's warrant filed with the Miami-Dade police. After the incident, Shiesty went on Instagram to deny the news. This makes sense, because if he admitted his money was stolen, it would also mean he actually shot at the guard. Some people on social media made fun of him and one person even criticized his performance. They said the performance was terrible, and the fans who took his money are only being compensated for enduring such a terrible show. After being arrested, Shiesty was kept in custody by the judge without the option of bail. Shiesty's defense lawyers asked the judge to reconsider their decision. They pointed out that the victim had changed his previous statement and no longer wanted to prosecute. According to court documents, the victim's testimony was surprising. He claimed he couldn't remember his conversation with the Miami-Dade detectives because he was heavily medicated with painkillers at the hospital. The victim also stated that Shiesty never pointed the gun at him, and he wasn't sure about the shooter's identity. During the court hearing, Prosecutor Scalavino said they would investigate why the victim changed his stance before pressing charges. Scalavino pointed out that the victim's first statement was clear and descriptive, which raises the possibility that the witness might have been under pressure to change his testimony. Judge Venzer noticed this too. Scalavino assured the court they are concerned about this issue and are investigating it. Shiesty would remain in custody until he was sentenced for the hotel shooting incident in 2022. Let's explore his rise to fame. Pooh Shiesty grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, spending his early years in the Canaan Creek apartments. He also lived in Pflugerville, Texas for 2 years. When he returned to Memphis, he went to summer school to finish high school. At 18, he discovered his love for music and decided to focus on nurturing his musical talent. Shiesty began his new journey with his first song, Hell Night, released in March 2019. His big break came when Gucci Mane recognized his talent and brought him into his record label, 1017 Records. Thanks to Gucci Mane's efforts, Shiesty also joined Atlantic Records in April 2020. This collaboration led to the hit single Still Remember, which made Shiesty a household name and earned him well-deserved praise in November 2020. Shiesty released what would be his most popular song, Back in Blood, in collaboration with Lil Durk. This track became a major success and solidified Shiesty's status in the music industry. The official music video for the song was released in January 2021. Despite his successes, he would engage in criminal activities that eventually led to his imprisonment. During his sentencing, Shiesty was made aware of his future after serving his sentence. According to a May 1, 2022 report, the rapper will be under supervision for 3 years after serving the rest of his 5-year and 3-month sentence. During this supervised release, he will have to follow several conditions. For instance, he must avoid contact with his co-defendants and the gang members he used to associate with. His parole officer will also have the authority to search his home. Court documents also mentioned that Shiesty will have to complete an rehabilitation program. The rehabilitation program might not be too difficult for him since he had previously claimed to be sober in one Instagram post before he was sentenced. The rapper expressed how his skin has improved since giving up drinking lean. He also mentioned that his mindset has changed and that he feels like he's already in prison. He believes that people are trying hard to portray him as a dangerous person. He ended his post with the hashtag, #FreeTheBiggest. Now that we've seen what is in store for him after his jail term, let's look at situations he will likely face in jail. We all know prison is a very dangerous place for rappers, and if he's not careful, he may lose everything he's worked for. Let's look at examples of other rappers who had issues in jail. An excellent one to start with will be that of King Von in 2020, which has not stopped the late Chicago rapper from being a popular topic of conversation. He recently made headlines once again, this time due to the release of new footage depicting his time in prison. In a leaked video, King Von can be seen engaging in a violent altercation with another inmate. This incident reportedly dates back to 2016 and shows King Von and an associate engaging in a scuffle with the inmate. The guards intervene and break up the fight by using mace on them. In the video, the rapper was later interviewed by a sergeant about the incident.
Can you tell me what happened?
I got maced.
Why'd you get maced?
I was in the hallway.
You was in the hallway.
I was in the barbershop, hit the corner. Who maced me still? I don't know. Somebody maced me.
They just maced you for no reason?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got any injuries?
He seems confused about why he was maced and worried because he didn't get any medical attention after being exposed to the painful chemical. He informed the sergeant that he had been sprayed with mace in the hallway and later in the barbershop. He recounted how he turned the corner and someone sprayed him, causing him to fall. Although he spoke with the counselor, he did not receive any medical care. This is the most recent in a series of videos released recently featuring footage of the deceased rapper's time in prison. On Tuesday, July 18th, leaked body cam footage from November 2017 appeared on social media. In the video, Von can be seen telling police officers about his alleged preference. He did this to be transferred to a safer jail section and receive protective custody.
Supposed to be a Christian, but they got a problem with gay people.
So because of your orientation, you're requesting protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
One officer asked Vaughn if he is requesting protective custody because of his orientation, which Vaughn confirms. Vaughn says that the people who have a problem with gay individuals could be Christians. He also mentions that they tried to make him engage in acts with them. King Von's friends and fellow musicians have spoken up to support him. They clarified that his wish to be transferred was because of the jail's rules. THF Zoo, who is connected to Vaughn and Lil Durk, posted a video on Instagram. In the video, an officer can be heard saying that Vaughn just wanted to be moved across the hall.
He doesn't want anything, he just wants to move across the hall.
Zoo expressed frustration because this part of the video is not being shown on blogs. They said the blogs were trying to harm Vaughn's reputation. Zoo mentioned that moving around in that county is tough unless you're sick or seeking protection. Maybe similar confrontations await Shiesty in prison because, like him, Vaughn had always been in trouble with the law. Before he died, he had been arrested multiple times, including for a shooting in Atlanta in 2019. If you enjoyed this video, click on the ones showing on your screen now to watch similar content.